Hey there. Yeah, just like the title suggests, I'm not having any luck with sleep today, so I'm probably going to dive into Khazan up until about the time I need to get ready for work, which is going to probably be in the next 2 to 3 hours. Hold on for a second. I need to grab some water. Alright, there we go. Okay, the Dalet. Alright, I'm ready to go. Oh, continue. Oh, so that's where we are, boss challenge. Okay, so here's what's going on, gang. The long and short of it is, first part of this, I don't know. So let's see. Long story short, to be honest with you, I can't tell you how I'm feeling right now. What the heck was that? I think a lot of this really does have to do with work. Be honest with you. To be honest with you, yeah, part of it is Nice. Whoa! Well, let's see how we do with the sword, because the sword does some nasty damage. Alright, so, well, I don't know, maybe we do a little bit of, max damage, stamina, neglected great sword, oh. So, I guess if I had to put a, anything on it, part of it has been work. Oh! Nice. Oh, and the dual sense is dead too. Uh-oh. That's no good. So in other words, I gotta chip away at this. Oh, I feel better actually. This is something I needed. So yeah, part of it is, I do think part of it is the finding out that yet another, but I don't know. Let's start with this. I think part of it was finding out that Gura is uh, graduating. But I think it's less about the actual person retiring or graduating as it is another one of those things where things change and it just doesn't work out well for you. Necklace of Grace. Guard stamina. Damage decrease. Attack damage. Attack damage. I have Necklace of Commitment. Necklace of Commitment. There we go. Max stamina. Okay. Do we have items equipped? Okay. How about this? I could say that, yeah, part of it is, Gura quitting. I mean, not quitting, but, you know, Gura graduating, but I think it has less to do with that and more to do with change. And I think that's a recurring thing because, check this out. Stuff keeps changing at work all the time, and that's a source of stress for me. So, and every time something changes, just adds a little more stress because it's like a change in my day that I'm not, or change in my life that I'm kind of not happy with. And it's a weird thing to say in some ways. Okay, that's great. Oh, that was not good at all. Forgot to lock on. So I think for me, just the repeated disruptions probably doing it, but I just have not been able to. Why'd you? Oh, it's distance. What the heck? But I think I'm probably at peace more with the idea of her. Why are you not blocking anything? That was horrible. Alright. So, I don't know. I think it's I can honestly tell you, it's just like. Hooba! Ah. Nice. Run! Run, you fool! Why? That. Is he regenerating? Okay, so as long as I keep him. Okay, so I. Attack I've never seen before. So the spear is the right weapon. Alright, that's what I needed. It's one of those things where you kinda need just something. Whew. Okay, so that works. Oh, this is going to be horrible. Is there anything we can do? Well, we acquired more lacryma. Skill tree. I don't know. What I can tell you is I think what's going on is I'm supremely Well, okay, that that's better. That's better. I mean, we stunned him. Okay, so I don't know how we did that, but that was cool. Wait, that canceled it? Okay, progress. We're getting to the second level now. So I think basically what's happening is mentally I'm just completely discombobulated and I'm just... No way! I almost had him. So the block does a lot of damage. I like that. The blocking does damage. Okay, so the block does damage. Please, please. Yes! Yes! Awesome!
육신을 내어줄 순 없다. 하지만 무기를 휘두를 발이 필요하다. 육신에게도 긍지는 있을 터. 나 또한 내 긍지를 걸고 맹세하지. 네 목적에 협조하겠다. 그러니 나를 도와다오. 나는 좋아. 가람의 명령만 수행할 수 있다. 우리의 목적 분명하다. 명예의 질서 외부.
나이스.
나와 함께해라. 그럼 나도 돕겠다. 계약을 받아들이지. 그 기간은 네 놈이 달렸다.
Nice.
귀신을 잠재우셨습니까? 아니, 그와 함께하기로 하신 거군요. 그렇게까지 하신 이유가 뭡니까?
황제에게 복수할 수만 있다면 귀신의 도움이라도 마다하지 않겠어.
당신의 운명이 바뀌었군요. 그 귀신이 길을 밝혀주는 별이 될 겁니다.
계약을 이해하기 위한 곳으로 갈 것이다. 저기로 다가가라.
부디 새 신의 가호가 함께하시길. 부디 새...
To the crevice. Between another world.
명기의 절대자 카론. 우리는 그와 계약으로 맺어진 명의의 사자이다. 부르셨습니까?
현세의 영향으로 명계의 흐름이 뒤틀리고 있습니다.
현세로 가서 해결하라. 우리는 위대한 전사의 영혼들이다. 그러나 해결한다. 하지만 육신이 필요해. 현세에서도 능력을 발휘하려면 특별한 육신이 필요했다. 찾아라. 우리에게 걸맞는 최고의 육신을. 찾았다. 우리가 찾던 바로 그것이다. 육신을 취하자.
So that's what happened.
놈의 영혼을 쉽게 제압하고 육신을 취할 것이라 여겼건만 빌어먹을. 계약에 따라 약속 이행을 원한다. 우리는 카론이 부여한 사명을 이뤄야 한다. 우선 엠바스라는 사원으로 가라. 옆에 있는 귀문을 통해 그 사원의 우린
Oh, awesome. Alright, so what do we have?
웬 멍청한 놈이 또 흘러들어왔군. 내가 누군지 알고 싶. 여기 경계에 틈엔 재밌는 것들이 많아. 뭐 이것도 인연이니 하나 도와주마. 그럼 거기에 겠던 라크리 말.
Who's this? Alright, so why don't we do this? Let's see what we have gear-wise that we can equip. No weapons. Max stamina, enemy defeated, health recovery, stamina recovery, 20%. And Phantom Judgment. So an agreement with Ghost to achieve my revenge and its power may return of plasma body so it can fulfill its mission. The Ghost aims to resolve matters in another world through our pact. To achieve my goals, I must first head to M-Bars. Alright, let's see what we got. I've only been playing for an hour.
느껴지는군. 명기의 기운이 새어나오고 있다. 사원을 찾아라.
Damnation, I forgot what the lacquer was for. Status, there we go. Fire enhancer. Stamina recovery. That'll work. poison cleanse potion. I knew that was coming. Alright. So it seems like the pattern is enemies, enemy bosses. Vitality tome allows the blacksmith to vitality shards. What are vitality shards? Alright. Owned. Use to craft consumables. Well, I don't know. To be fair, hellos and goodbyes, but also it just, when you get to a certain level, it do be like that. Does seem like it becomes a sort of mental burden that not everyone is equipped to deal with, especially if you're someone that is very withdrawn and introverted, and you know, you're overwhelmed by it. And the problem with that sort of success is that at some point, or at many points, you begin to ask yourself the question, do I deserve this? Am I worthy of this? And your family, your friends, your loved ones, the people who have seen you work as hard as you do to get where you are, will almost always say yes. And your friends who you made or are with you along the journey will say yes. But it doesn't matter. I can't say it doesn't matter because it does, but it's harder to overcome your own voice that tells you you don't. I mean, come on. 100, let me tell you something. Reaching 1,000 subscribers is something big. 10,000 is big. 100,000, when you get a silver play button, is massive. Getting a gold play button, getting 1 million subscribers is big. But then to have like just over 4 million, to have over 4 million, that's one of those things where you enter the upper tier. I'm just thinking out loud. And to surpass someone who is basically the same thing as one of the longest tenured members of your own company, longest tenured active talent, that's a big thing. And when you surpass that person, that's big. And then you become, at least one way, you become the standard bearer yourself. That's crushing. And then you have someone else. Now, very soon there will be two, but then there will be one, because Hosho Marine is creeping up on 4 million. So, correction. Whole Life is now going to have 4 million talents, but of those 2 million talents, only one will remain with the company. And the other part is, it says her notice says nothing about being an affiliate or anything like that. So it sounds wrong of me to say this. In fact, maybe it sounds very much like I'm jaded by the whole process. But something I think probably is more important than anything else is your own mental health and well-being. Some people are able to cope, some people are able to get over it, and some people get better. Others, you'll never get over that feeling, and I speak from personal experience on that. So you only have two choices in a way. The first is you have more than two choices, but one choice is to live with it. And you can live with it, and by living with it, that means, at least in my opinion, you deal with it as long as you can. You just go, and some people deal with it for a very long time, some people deal with it for a short time. And between the whole thing where she talks about burnout and her health and her mental, it goes to show you that physically, mentally, maybe there are a number of actual very real health challenges, because but there are also mental health challenges. And the thing with that is, if you're not equipped to deal with it, then you need to get help to deal with it, or you have to bow out, or you can ignore it and soldier on until you break, and then you reach a point where either you get help to deal with it, or you have to walk away. And I've heard at least one person say, let me get a drink of water before we continue, that she knew for a very long time this was going to happen, that it would happen, she just didn't know when. And I said it once, but I'll say it again. For someone who is as bold as she comes across online, who seems to be someone who's very withdrawn and who's very shy, that sort of thing, and I that sort of thing can wear on you. And there's a lot of stuff that she's probably dealing with that we don't know about, and a lot of people have said this, and I will say it as well because I deal with it as well. Imposter syndrome is a very real thing. And to be honest with you, I think one of the things that probably made it easier one of the things that probably did make it easier one of the things that, and I really don't think it makes it easier at all, but it would not have surprised me if one of the things that factored in to the decision to call it a career was seeing Shion call it a career.
희귀하군. 강령술인가? 저 사체에 무언가를 불러들여야 했어.
And you know, it would whoops. So in all fairness, it would not have surprised me. It sucks to say it, but it would not surprise me if the health problems that Shion was dealing with, because Shion talked about similar health problems and struggles. It would not have surprised me if it wouldn't have surprised me if that played into the decision as well. And the thing that makes it worse is I can't say I blame her for wanting.
여기 위를 좀 보게.
But at the same time, what are you supposed to do? Not everyone is engineered for success, that sort of thing. And someone once told me that. Well, or rather, I've heard it from a lot of people that fame, I mean, you think that it's, I don't know. I'm trying to put my mind at ease. But it's one of those things where a lot of people go, well, personal belief is that fame isn't easy. I don't expect it'll ever be something that's as simple and as easy as what everyone thinks it is. And I mean that from the standpoint of, it just feels like everything she's been through. And another person, Mori, I think it was Mori that said that Netherworld Energy +1. Awesome. She's been at it almost 5 years.
아니, 이봐, 진정해. 다 그 귀족놈이 시킨 짓이야. 그 여자한테 그렇게까지 할 줄은 나도 몰랐다고.
요즘 사람들은 앞만 보고 다녀서 문제야. 잠깐, 난 그대가 생각하는 그런 좀도둑이 아니라네. 손에 든 그 무시무시한 것들은 내려놓고 우리 한번 대화를 해보자. 나는 무엇이든 될 수 있다네. 하지만 나는 뼛속까지 이곳에는 알아낼 것이 있어서 비록 이렇게 안타깝게 죽어버렸지만 말이야.
But I think let's try to put it into context. I mean, I know stuff about the previous, but you know, it's 5 o'clock. Awesome. I know things about her previous, but given what has gone on with this one, it seems like she's always grappled with imposter syndrome, and just how fast she shot up to 1 million and then 2 million, and it seemed like the first 1 million was like holy crap, wow, and it was overwhelming. 2 was probably far worse, and 3, it felt like at 3 she didn't want to celebrate, and at 4 she was just like, I don't know how to deal with this. So a celebrity of any sort, even if you're someone that's basically can be considered one of the heavy hitters of your particular career path, and to rise that fast, that gets to be overwhelming, and it can be stressful, and all the things that come with it. So
도적놈들이 여기 아주 호기롭게 들어오더군. 용족의 언어를 알아듣지는 못하지만 히스마라는 말이 자주 들렸다네. 우리가 아는 그 광룡 말이야. 난 뭘 하고 있었냐고? 그거 재밌는 질문이군. 당연히 숨어서 지켜봤지. 마침 다양하고 자극적인 시상들을 수집하기 위해 세상을 방랑하다 보면 그 중에서 어떤 것들은 나의 그대.
So, I just, when it comes to what's going on with her, I just think that as much as I think the best you can take away from it is, as much as we want her to stay, it's not our choice to tell her to stay. It's not our choice to ask her. We can ask her to stay. As a fan, it's not our right. It's not our. It's more or less like easy. I guess the easiest way to put it is it's something we can request and hope for as fans. And when it doesn't happen, the best thing we can do is respect their decision and celebrate their career and all they've done. Someone said that 5 years in their career is like 15 in an average in any other normal career. And I feel like the best way to put it into perspective is think of it like this. So, think about it this way. In any career, let's say you go into career knowing I'm gonna quit. Let me think about this. All right, I got it. Let's say you start a new job let's say you start a new career. It's the kind of career where it's legitimately on-the-job training. So, at least, and I I started out in a job like that, where if you had come into that job with certifications, degrees, the whole bit and bob, you would have basically, let me see. Let's say you did go into that career, my job path, my career path. In my career, in my career, it's eminently easier, as it is with a lot of jobs with career paths. If you go in with degrees and certifications and stuff like that, but I didn't go into it like that. I went in with I basically started out at the bottom. I was sweeping floors and stuff like that. But then I So I went in my job with like so I went into my career with no real experience. Well, correction, I did have experience. A grin strength and damage increase. My max health goes down. My defense goes up. Bandits, winter gauntlets, soul eaters. Action. So, to be honest with you, I did go into my particular career starting from the the very basic bottom, sweeping floors. I was taught different set of skill set by a couple of really great dudes, and basically they wanted me to do more, and because they wanted me to do more, they showed me a bunch of stuff and pushed for me to become their apprentice. And when it didn't happen, that was the first deviation from the career path that I wanted. Now, so, that actually got me my first career path change. And, you know, when that happened, one of the biggest questions that they had for me was, can you do the job? And it was like, I have some idea on what it takes to do the job. So they go, okay, then you're going to have to. They're like, okay, fine. Show me what you got. So I go in, and it's a lot of on-the-job training. I mainly came down to a lot of hustling and hard work and pushing myself, asking questions, being really friendly to people. So they were like, okay, so here's what we're going to do, dude. I have a bad feeling. So I learned more, and then as I learned more and did more, I also opened the door by being okay with dealing with new and different things and acquiring different skills and being willing to go farther and push harder.
과정은 재수없어.
So, at least with that, so, and you know, it came with its share of setbacks. I got passed over for the next level in my career path a whole lot, and I mean a unreasonable amount. Enough so that when they actually gave it to me, I didn't want it because it felt like I had been disrespected and all my years of service had been for nothing. And they're like, well, you have to understand, we have agreements with schools to take in people with that have certifications. And I'm like, understandable, but they're coming into this with a piece of paper while I've been actively physically here for X number of years. And I said, I've also got a bunch of the old guys, your seniors, wanting me to become their they've been wanting me to be you know, they wanted me to be at the top where they were willing to train me. But hey, they didn't want that. So, you know, I specialized in the unreasonable. And the problem with specializing in the unreasonable that'll work. The problem with specializing in the unreasonable, at least in my opinion, the problem with specializing in the unreasonable is that they start to expect it.
결국엔 좋은 그릇을 찾는 데 성공했군요.
카론의 충견이 어쩐 일인가? 또 감시하러 온 건가?
카론님의 명으로 여길 조사하고 있었을 뿐이에요. 그리고 알아냈답니다. 기운이 새어나간 건 바로 저 원형 장치 때문이었어요. 저 장치가 명계의 기운을 끌어올리고 있더군요. 생자여, 귀석을 해방할 힘을 충분히 가지고 있군요.
오.
생자여, 귀석의 힘으로 어떤 능력을 얻고 싶나요?
Lacrima gain. Health recovery increase. I don't know. I feel like if I can farm Lacrima, I'll be fine, but at some point, I'm gonna have to start gaining even more. But health recovery, we'll do it. Here. Max spirit +1. Back. So, you know, like I was saying, even now I still specialize in the unreasonable. And, you know, it seems like it would be fine and dandy to specialize in the unreasonable. But the problem is, when you get good at delivering on the unreasonable, people just continually, continually push you. Because they go, oh, You can deliver on this? Okay. Good. Ah, holy crap. Hunter's Helm, Spirit Orb. Ooh. Interesting. Weapon, Imperial Spear. Attack that. Oh. Oh. I got an idea. Alright, let's see what this, let's see. I guess that's what they were trying to tell me, which is this dual wield weapon is the one we need to start using. Alright. So, you know, I think that opens up a whole bunch of stress because it's like, okay, so we got okay, so we got skill points now. Skill tree. Oh, so it changes. Okay, so it changes. Blazing Assault. Potent Blow. Wind Chaser. Outrage. Ruthlessness. Alright, let's get it going then. So for me at least, I just, I don't know, I just feel like I just get tired of it. But I'm in it so far that, especially at where I am, that career-wise it makes very little sense. Bet you it's going to be far weaker. Dual wield. But I guess, all in all, what I was talking about earlier, all boils down to one thing. As much as it sucks to say it, it boils down to how much you are able to deal with your particular situation. And not just how much you're able to deal with, it's how effective you are in dealing with it. And to me, I'm not good enough to deal with that. I'm taking too much damage. So And now, no two people are the same. That's the other part about this. What works for one person may not work for another, or the next person, or anything like that. And the other part that is just as true is the saying is true. Some people are just built that way. It's a weird thing to say. It's a weird thing to say, I know, but not everyone is equipped to, not everyone knows how to deal with it, and not everyone can deal with it. Not everyone is equipped or evolves to be able to do those sorts of things. So, and given what that person's personality is like, and given their mindset and things of that nature, you know, once again, it sucks, but you know, it sucks, it really does. But it is what it is. And I'll call it the same perspective again by saying 5 years is a very long time. Five years is a very long time. I mean, come on. Look at perfect example. Look at anyone that plays pro sports like football or soccer, or any football, American football, or anything. Just think about that. So just think about that for a second. Like, being dead serious. Look at NFL football, alright? perfect example. Again, look at American football. American football, the position in American football with the most longevity is the one with the least wear and tear on. And that would be the kicker. Kicker only comes on the field to do one thing, and one kicker comes on the field and he's there to kick the ball through the uprights or to kick the ball away. And that's it. Who's in Mountain Sphere? Oh! Extra endurance, unscathed, received damage increase, brutal attack, health recovery, unscathed, damage increase. Against dragon can damage increase. Enemy critical damage increase. So I'll lose some max health, but my defense goes up to 148. My unscathed. What the heck is unscathed mean? Let's see, encyclopedia. Extra vitality. Backranking. Conditions. Enemy unscathed. Applies an effect when Khazan's health is at 100. So unscathed damage increased by 30. So as long as I don't get touched. So I don't think that's. I'm not sure if that's good enough to take a 7-point attack damage drop. I'm just not comfortable with that one. Well, anyway, NFL football, Major League American Football. The position with the lowest career expectation career life is the running back. The running back takes the most damage. It will take a lot of damage, take a lot of hits, and they've evolved slightly more to be a little more muscled. I mean, look at Ray. I think, at least to me, one of the prototypes of that more beefy body for a small guy is Ray Rice. Because I remember when he came in with the Ravens, he was this little guy, but he was shrugging off hits like no one's business and making big yardage. But the average life expectancy for that career expectancy is like somewhere between 3 and 5 years. Anything longer than that and you're an anomaly. But you get at least 1, maybe 2 really good contracts, and you're set for life provided you have a good money manager and you don't blow your money, and you do what people tell you, which is to don't waste your money, invest in uh start invest invest your money or start a couple of businesses. The reason why, and some of these guys, there's a reason why you don't hear from them, even if they hear from them. It's because they've set themselves up in a certain way. The ones you do have gone broke and they're hawking money, whatever. So if you look at her career, Gura's career, 5 years is an eternity. And that's not even getting into people. Sora, who's older, in terms of career. Who's getting ready to restart activities, who's been at it longer. And it's also a different mentality. As far as from what I can tell, and everything I've seen and experienced and heard regarding Gura, it wasn't. How about this? It's an accidental career. And it's an accidental career from the standpoint from Gura's standpoint, it's an accidental career. It's one of those happy accidents where you skyrocket, and she was overwhelmed by it. And I think her pushing herself as hard, and she took off during COVID. She took off during COVID. And I think the reason why she worked as hard as she did was because she wanted to be, in her mind's eye, worthy of the subscriptions, this, that, and the other. And it just burnt. And, between that and imposter syndrome, it burned her out. What about people like Sora? Sora is different. Sora has the long haulers like that. They have a different mentality. They look at it as, this is the job I want, this is the career I want, and I'm not going to let anything stop me from reaching my fullest potential. I mean, and that's what that's where I think Mori is as well, and a bunch of others. But then there's just some who, as good as they are, and as amazing as they are, as entertaining as they are, for one reason or another, they're just not built for it. They're not built for the kind of fan, the exposure, and all that stuff, and that's what kills them. And then you have others who are being creative, whose creativity is being stifled, or who, I think that's what Ame was. I think Ame didn't want to be out front as much. She didn't mind she wanted to go at her own pace, and she wanted to be more experimental, what she could. So, I mean, they're different things, but that's how I take it. And with Fauna, I think it was multiple things. I think it was the ASMR stuff. She stopped doing the ASMR stuff because she wasn't happy with it anymore. And she said it has, for her to be, she liked the process and the creation of it more than she liked the actual doing. And for her, everything had to line up a certain way for her to be satisfied with it. And, and at the same time, she also felt very strongly she was being compared to everyone else in terms of vocal ability, this, that, and the other. But I think, how about this? I think one of the reasons why a lot of people are saying that Erika's differences between them and the company is because there are. I think when you're dealing with a career like this that's very high energy, rush, there's some people who don't mind the rush, but there's some people that want to take it a little easy. I don't know. I just think that for a lot of people, once you reach a certain level, for you at least, you want, I don't know if it's about wanting more control or anything like that. I really don't. I think for some people, it's less about well, like I said, I think the best way to put it is when you kind of outlive the life expectancy that your career kind of has. When you outlive that life expectancy, doing that alone is a good thing, especially in this line in VTubing, where it feels very much like the whole indie comics boom, where everyone's going, hey, I can do that. And, you know, and anyone that has the money or a good angle is going to go, I'm going to start a VTuber agency, and then 6 months, 3 months, 6 months, 8 months later,
아직도 움직이는군. 멈추는 방법을 찾아야 한다.
I think you how do you figure it? I think, like I said, just like independent comics, where everyone thought it was a good idea to get into comics just because a whole of the success of it all. But success and stuff like that, and anything like that, for every success, there's at least 1,000, maybe 2,000, maybe 3,000 failures. That's the same thing with VTubers in agencies. I feel like any VTuber, if they're independent, that lasts more. Any independent VTubers are slightly different because you can do it if you're independent as long as you want, as long as you are willing to put the money and time into it, and invest in it, and research it, and get it to take off. It's getting it to take off is the hard part. It's getting to the point where you're financially viable and stable, and you're not just earning a paycheck and paying the bills, but you're paying for the rigging, you're able to do merch, you're able to do conventions and all these other things. You're able to do enough stuff where you're able to make a legitimate career out of it. It's almost 6. Play a little longer. So, in the case of, hold on a second, I gotta. Okay, awesome. So, so to be fair, like I said, it's a shot in the dark. It really is. Sometimes you have it, sometimes, and it's weird to say this because sometimes you have it and sometimes you don't. And just because you have it doesn't mean you're going to succeed any more than not having it means you're going to have to fail. It's all about hard work. And hard work, the ethic, the drive, and and lots of other things. Look at Zentreya. Zentreya is so far out of left field career-wise that you would never expect Zen to have been around as long as she has. But she has, and part of it is because she knows who our audience is, and she knows how to cater to them, and she knows how to have fun doing so. And she's been doing it for a good bit of time. But for every one of her, there's like so many others. And there's a couple of them that I really love, and they're no longer around. And I can't. And it's just, it gets to be demoralizing. It really does. So, what? But the one thing I can say, and I'll continue to say it, is the successes are the anomalies. The failures are par for the course. A lot of people are not going to like that, but given the experiences I've had with the comic industry and things like that, like I said, you have a whole bunch of people that think that all it takes is a good a VTuber model and a good angle and you're set. And it's unfortunately doesn't work that way. And I'm going to be the first person to tell you that it doesn't work that way. And a perfect example of it, I think partially I'm drawing a blank, but I also think it's because I'm kind of like lucid, but not. I don't mean like I'm drunk or anything like that. I mean, I'm literally, I can't sleep, and part of it, and because I kind of can't sleep, I'm also, still dealing with like running all day for work, and then running to pick up the parts from oh yeah, that came in. The my order from Archaic came in for the yeah, my parts order from Archaic came in, so I went and picked that up. Of course, anyone locally will know what the other thing about the day is, and thankfully I got all my junk done in a timely manner. So there is that. But back to what I was saying before. Oop, that wasn't cool. So getting back to what I was saying before, it sucks to say it, but failure is probably more par for the course than success is. And it's just because of the attrition rate. I'll be the first one to tell you, I know it's not what a lot of people want to hear, but accepting that reality makes it easier for you to decide what you're going to do and what you want to do. But one, if you knew that going in, and I'm not trying to make light of anyone that wants to do it, but if you knew that going in, that you're going in not to with the idea of success. If you're going in to succeed, knowing that my personal opinion is, if you go into this knowing that success isn't, it's not even that success is not guaranteed, it's that failure is almost a certainty. I do believe, personally, if you go into this with the idea, not that you're going to fail, but if you go in this with the idea that failure is a very real possibility, and more than it being a very real possibility, that that it could be years. Oh, I think we got enough time in. We'll play a little more. I think if I think you have to take the more realistic approach that think personally you need to take the more realistic approach that failure is a very real possibility. I think, again, I'm just trying to keep my thoughts together. I think if you go in it, I'm not saying you should go, oh, I'm going to fail, that's it. No. You can't go in there with the mindset of I'm not saying you should go in there with the idea of, oh, I'm going to succeed in this because I'm going to tell you that it's not that I think you should go, anyone should go in with the idea that I'm just saying I don't think anyone should go in with the idea that success is guaranteed, that they're going to go into this and be uber successful and they're going to get rich and everything's going to be fine, because it's not. It's like expecting that just because you're the best, it's even worse when you think you're the best at something and you really aren't. Like, perfect example, let's say you're a good casual player, but that's only in your local scene. You don't travel, you don't do online play, you don't do any major tournaments. You can't dive right into Evo, walk into Evo and expect that you're going to win grand finals of Street Fighter 6. That just doesn't happen. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but that shit just doesn't happen. And if you think it does, unfortunately, if you think that it does, unfortunately, you're very wrong. %. It just doesn't happen. And for people who think that that's what it does, it sucks. And it sucks even more because you go into this thing thinking automatically you're going to get the big win, and then you don't, and you're very disappointed. It's just, like I said, it's just like pro football or anything else. You're far more likely to fail than you are to succeed. Because there's so many people out there, so much talent, that the ones that succeed are exceptional. So, and even if you plan and prepare and do everything, you can do everything right, and then things go wrong, because that's what they do. Things go wrong. So what do you do? I keep saying it, so I'll say it one more time. Plan. That's the biggest thing. Number two, you go into it with the idea that let's do common. Spirit extraction. Reflection offense. Javelin, rest in peace. Thought I had that. Counterattack. Attack. Increase javelin damage. Berserk Spirit. It's been my regular. It's been taking damage. Reflection offense. Deal damage with a successful reflection. So, if I had to say, what do? You prepare. You prepare as much as possible and then prepare more. I don't know, maybe I should do something that allows me, well, so prepare some more. Plan. The other thing, and this is one thing I can tell you because that works because I'm doing it right now, is prepare a war chest. And I mean that because if you prepare a war chest, and if you budget prepare a war chest and everything is good, and the main reason why I say all that is because if you prepare, you budget, you do all that crap, and you have, that means you, and you have a war chest. That means you're not killing yourself and you're not going broke trying to fund something that's not succeeding. And when you're able to do something, when you have something like that, and you're able to do all that, it makes it easier for you to do certain things. Doesn't make it easy, including succeed. Treat it like you would anything else. As you have to treat it as, even if you're going in it with the intent of succeeding, knowing that you could fail. You gotta make sure you're prepared for it. Let's back it up a moment. Let's back it up because I think I'm taking a wrong tack. I got a little more time before I need to get out of here. We got 15 minutes. So, let's try this again. Alright, here's what I'm thinking. The biggest piece of advice I can tell you is, and this is number one, is to make sure your bills are paid. Don't quit your day job. Ooh. And I mean that 110%. Don't quit your job. And I mean that with every fiber of my being. Neglected greatsword. Imperial soldier's greatsword. I 110% mean this. Don't go into it with the idea that automatically you're going to be successful, you're going to be a rock star or anything like that. Stuff like this takes a lot of planning and a lot of preparation. Takes knowing and it takes a lot of networking as well. Knowing what the best opportunities are if you want to go corporate, knowing who you have to work with, building an audience, all that stuff, all of it. And then here's another one for you. Are we supercharged? Yeah, we're charged. Alright, so all that's good. The next thing you have to do is don't quit your day job. It sounds... Oh. I mean, it sounds weird for me to say it, but you're not going to get very far if you decide, well, this is what I'm going to do, and all of a sudden I'm going to dodge damage increase, stamina recovery, health recovery increase, compose and potent blow, stamina. Ashen Wolf. So, what else do we have with Ashen Wolf? Ashen Wolf. Let's see. Ashen Wolf pants. Ashen Wolf shoes. You know what? I'm curious. Let's go with the full Ashen Wolf thing. Alright, let's see what happens with Ashen Wolf everything. So I think if you do all that, you might be alright. But the other part, once you have all of that stuff I was talking about taken care of, you gotta set realistic goals. You're not gonna reach 1 million in in a year. You're not gonna reach 1 million in maybe 5 years. Set realistic goals. Don't quit your day job because you need to keep bills have to be paid. When I first started doing illustration stuff, comic book stuff, I had this stupid idea that I was just going to go out there and make tons of money. And you know what happened? It didn't. And I just, you know, I feel bad for anyone that decides that they're going to do something like this and become a total rock star when the possibility of failure outweighs it. So what do you do? I don't know. I don't have that. I hate to say it. I don't have that answer. I just know that I don't like seeing someone fail when they have their heart on set on success. But like I said, you gotta prepare, you gotta plan, and then you gotta execute. But not only do you have to execute, oh, so that's not a bad thing. It's mobile. Reforged dual wield. But I still think 100% one of the other things you shouldn't be doing is quitting your day job thinking that you're gonna make it right out of the box. You're not. In fact, it's probably more likely you're gonna need your day job to fuel the engine. Wow. So like what I'm doing right now with my biggest project is I'm treating it exactly what it is, which is just something I'm doing for fun. But because I'm doing it for fun. Nice. Oh. So to be honest with you, I think if you treat it like something you're doing for fun, and just like any other hobby you go into, you have an idea of, you know what, that's actually not bad. Like, even if you want to do it as a career, you need to start out with treating it like a hobby. Meaning something you enjoy on your downtime. Oh, because he. Ah. All right, I want more. I want one more crack at you. I want one more crack at you. So I think my honest advice: treat it like a hobby. Choose something you want to do on your downtime that's fun to you and makes you happy. I think if you do that, if you treat it as something that's fun that you enjoy, you're going to get more mileage out of it. There you go. That's how you know you messed up, because you're moving entirely too fast there, boss. I mean, if you treat it like it's fun, if you have fun with it, you're not going to get bored of it. I mean, who knows? You treat it that way, maybe all the good things that come out of it, like you meet friends, you have contacts, all that will lead to the opportunity if you really want it to go to the next level. So doing all that eventually may give you that opportunity you're looking for to take it to the next level. But, you know, I don't know. Imperial Soldier Spear. What about? That's what I have now. So my, you know, I don't know. Do what you want, have fun with it, and hopefully holy crap. I just think that, you know, I don't know. I feel like didn't want it to end. I think we might have gone as far as we're going to get. We'll do one more. Nice. One more time, but I think we're probably at the end of what we're going to be able to do today. Alright, one more time. Background. Oh, elite enemy defeated. Hunter scroll, neglected great sword. Oh, wow. Awesome. I kid you not, this is a very amazing. Oh, oh, crud. All right. Butcher's pauldrons. Weapons. If I still wilt. Alright, we're done. Yeah, definitely 100% done. I want to get out of here. You know what? I feel better. I feel a lot better. I still feel anger and frustration. But believe it or not, the anger and frustration, that's all aimed at the daily. So you know what? We're just gonna go ahead and move forward. But for now, I think that's it. I might hop back into this tonight. I might go back in and do a run of Last of Us tonight. I do know I'm gonna have to start watching season 2 at some point. And I do know that the big thing that we gotta start doing, without a shadow of a doubt, is getting the PS4 plugged back up so we could get into PS4 type shenanigans. So, I think I'm done. I am curious to see where we are progress-wise. Alright, so I'll see you later. Have a good morning and good day.